So, we run an independent, progressive, leaning media operation, Politics Done Right, on Egberto Off the Record. And the reason we do this is many a times because to give context to what the news is putting out there, but also more importantly, to try to keep our eyes on the ball. More than ever, it is imperative that we do just that. Keep our eyes on the ball. The way the right wing operates, and they're very good at it, got to give them a lot of commendation for doing that, is they know that as they are pushing terrible policies that work for the few, and I don't want us to get into the modal that this is somehow cliche. The policies that they support are detrimental to most Americans, including those people who support them, including MAGA, including right wing, including small businesses, etc. Earlier in my program this morning, I explained exactly how small businesses are affected by the tariffs, where the Walmarts and the others have pricing power that they can gain more market share as these small businesses go out of business because of these tariffs. But as this administration continues to do these bad things, if you will, against the middle class, against the poor, against the small businesses, they distract you. First of all, I want to give my support to former President Joe Biden. Joe Biden was a good president. Joe Biden got a whole lot of progressive policies passed that no other president, some even more progressive than he was. Because Biden is no progressive, really he's a neoliberal, but he was a good president that got a lot of good policies passed. Unfortunately, a lot of those policies didn't come to fruition. But then again, as well, Biden is old. His age showed, and we can try to put colored glasses on. He was an older guy that probably should have stepped out of the race a lot earlier than he did. But he's a good man, and he did good things. And we give all the positive affirmations for him to get over his prostate cancer diagnosis. In as much as it is aggressive, they claim that it responds to hormones, which I think gives a solid outlook for somebody of his means. And it's sad that I have to say somebody of his means, right? Because in America, a lot of your health care is directly proportional to what you can afford to pay. Now, recently, they also released a lot of Biden's tape, which showed that it was a guy that was fairly forgetful. Look, as I'm getting older as well, I am getting a bit forgetful myself. And I think I've heard my 30-something-year-old daughter talk about forgetfulness as well. So, I mean, yes, he's more so than he was before, but that doesn't mean that his cognizant ability, his logical ability, his ability to think correctly, unlike the current president that we have, wasn't there. It has always been there. It continues to be there. And even as I saw him on The View, while he has a lot of problems speaking extraneously, and the good thing Jill Biden is there because she knows him on the inside. The knowledge is there. The experience is there. So I was never worried. I was never, ever worried if he got into power again. Two reasons. He had a good vice president behind him. And secondly, he had a great staff that was there to assist him. Not always in agreement with his policies. I'm a much more progressive person than he is. But you know what? We're a country of many different ideologies. And what we do is we work honestly with each other to try to get the best deal we can out that satisfies some part of all of us. And that he was. And again, like I said, he did just well. But what I really want to talk about is let's not take our eyes off of the ball. We cannot take our eye off of the ball. This week, they're going to push the Trump tape, the tapes of Biden. They're going to morph the story of his cancer into hiding something. They're going to do all these things. Your response that I expect out of most of us should be, let's remember most of Reagan's second term was run by someone else because President Reagan left office with dementia, something that Biden doesn't have, but he left office with dementia. Let's not fool ourselves. So when it's time to do a parallel, make sure to remind that and move completely off of the subject. And let's talk about what they're doing to the poor and the middle class. And what are they doing to the poor and the middle class? Number one, tariffs right now is being used to collect the taxes to pay for the tax cuts, which means we're transferring the wealth from the working class to the rich, from the poor to the rich. That should be at our tip of our tongue. The poor is paying for the rich's welfare. Secondly, these rich people who get the tax cuts that's going to zoom the federal deficit, they are immediately going to loan that money back to us for a secure interest payment, which will be higher now that Moody has downgraded our debt rating. And now that, of course, we're going to be looking for 2.x more trillion, at least 2.x more trillion dollars. We have to use these things in easy terms as we're convincing our people to convince everybody else to call their congressperson to make sure these bills don't go through. So the tariffs is the first part. The first part, they're using the tariffs to collect money from all of us, the middle class, the working class, small businesses. They're all fronting the payments to the wealthy to give them that tax cut. And after they receive that tax cut, which balloons the deficit, they then loan us that money, which we then pay out of our pockets in the form of interest back to them. So they get the tax cut, they loan us back the money, they profit from that. And because corporations are benefiting as well, their stock prices appreciate. As their stock prices appreciate, what happens? That money, if they sell those stocks, are taxed at a lower rate than you pay. All around, we're getting screwed. And unfortunately, it's not expressed that way in our mainstream media. We have to do the job ourselves of telling our neighbors or brothers or sisters or aunties or MAGA friends, everybody, not in civil manners, how things really work. And if we do that, I mean, it's a timely, it's consuming, but if a lot of us do this, we will get somewhere. Deborah says the only way to stop paying taxes to the rich is to give up citizenship. Well, there are other ways. $400 million plane for Trump this is from B. Warren. No dolls and 4 pencils for us. That's funny. So Pedro Saint Rojina Silva, you are blessing to everyday people. Thank you so kindly, Pedro. So what I'm saying, my dear brothers and sisters, is the following. Let's not fall for the distraction. Let's just keep teaching civilly in the right tonality, including when we're talking to our MAGA brothers and sisters. Now, with respect to the actual bill, everybody that you know have relatives in rural areas. When Medicaid is cut, hospitals in rural areas will close. I did several articles on that already, where I pointed out that CEOs of these hospitals came out and said, if this is cut, we will close. You have relatives in rural areas. Let them understand what this means. And a bit further, most people in nursing homes, your grandmother, your disabled auntie, your disabled brother, your somebody that came back from an injury, they are in nursing homes. A large percentage of nursing homes are funded by Medicaid, especially in rural areas. That will go away. And a lot of these people will be thrown out, get reduced services, which means if they get reduced services and less eyes to keep our eye on those in these places, they'll do what? They'll die. There's no doubt about that. So that is another major portion. Of course, they're cutting SNAP. Of course, they're cutting other programs as well. And again, the sole purpose is to give wealthy people a tax break. But it gets even worse than that. They're almost, not completely, but almost for all practical purposes, eliminating the estate tax. We are a country that always claim merit. We want merit. The fallacy about DEI is that it was not allowing meritorious people to move up, which is completely false. Diversity, equity, and inclusion means we have a bigger pool of which to find people. And in that bigger pool, we get MEI, meritorious people, excellent people, and industrious people, intelligent people. You need DEI to have the best MEI. The fallacy that many have learned about DEI, and again, let's be clear. There are some people who have simply implemented DEI incorrectly and use it just to get a person of color or to bring a woman in or whatever. That's wrong. Every person that lands a job should deserve the job, should be able to do the job, and should be qualified for the job. Now, Donald Trump, in having Hegseth as the labor secretary, as the defense secretary, and the woman who doesn't know the difference between AI and A1 Sauce, who runs the education department, proves that DEI for them only means the hue that you've got, nothing more. But going back to the subject, as far as when we're talking about the bill that's going through, it just got through one committee. It's going to the Rules Committee this week. It is imperative that what you do is to call your congressperson, call your senator, and let them know you won't support them if they vote for this bill. This bill is a clear and present danger to you, and the distraction of Biden, the distraction of a $400 million plane, the distraction, all these other things that they want you to fight about, transgender, all these things are distractions. Don't fall for it. Michael Greenman, haven't heard from you in a long time. Egbert, hi. Long time. I have some material I'd like to share with you regarding MTA and the future. Love to get that. We were on the board of Move to Amend. Let me see them. Yes, you can. My email is all over, my friend, and you should be getting my newsletters, don't you? Anyway, so that is the case, brothers and sisters. We have work to do. Nobody's coming to save us. Nobody's coming to save you. You have to be actively engaged going forward. The Democratic Party is not there to save you. The Republican Party has caved to fascism, have caved to being an autocratic, to be run by an autocrat. So your only salvation is you and who you put into office going forward. And to let those who have the power right now know that that will be the last sign on that they do, because you're going to be getting them out of there. Name of the bill. That is a big, beautiful bill. That's what it's called, believe it or not. Donald Trump wanted that bill to be called the big, beautiful bill, and he got his BBB. You know, it's interesting that he wanted it to be BBB because BBB was better, Build Back Better that failed from Biden, and now he wants a big, beautiful bill. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. We used to be a real country. We used to be a respectable country. We used to be a serious country. Even if as we have fun, we used to have people that really cared about seriously taking care. And I'm talking about Republicans and Democrats alike. I don't agree with most of what Republicans stand for. I don't agree with almost anything conservatives stand for. But I love my conservative brothers and sisters. And I still believe we have to work together. But what we have here is completely out of whack. And only you, and I repeat, and I'm going to close out in a few seconds, but only you can make the difference. So without further ado, folks, I'm asking you to go out there and call your senator, call your congressperson, and I don't care if you're a Republican or Democrat, independent, otherwise, or whatever. This bill is a clear and present danger to you. It's a clear and present danger to your family. It's a clear and present danger to your future. And this isn't something that we will quickly recover from, because even if the good people win in 2026, undoing this disaster would have caused a lot of problems. And it has already caused a lot of problems, because there are already businesses who have plastic bottles, glass bottles, little trinkets that's sitting on the dock because at the time they came in, the tariffs were 145% out of China. There are people losing their businesses right now because there's no way they can pay a 30% tariff on what they're selling when their markup was likely 30%. They can't charge. Their markup was likely 30%. You can't ask them now to go ahead and mark up another 30% and expect that there will be people buying. So brothers and sisters, it's not on Democratic Party. It's not on the Republican Party. It's on you. And in the note that I wrote yesterday, I said one thing, and maybe I should maybe I should read the first few paragraphs of that, because I think it's important. I wrote an article yesterday titled Vamos a ver, ¿dónde está, dónde está, dónde está? Okay, it's clutch time. Are you with me and the movement? It is not fait accompli. This is a time that we must inform, activate, engage, demand, and then win. The Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, is projecting confidence that the Trump tax scam is all but assured. It is a poker move to force hesitant Republicans to stop their objections and join the fold. The most important question, who will the small number of thinking Republicans who know what that sacrificing their constituents may cost that their jobs follow? That question cannot be answered. In other words, they're asking the question, what can good thinking Republicans do? How are they going to answer? They're going to answer only if you do your job. And hence the purpose of this plea. I speak to a significant audience of all ideologies daily. When Donald Trump won again in 2024, the pulse was that of a panicked people. People were, oh my God, I can't believe Donald Trump is there again. We're in trouble. I have watched the panic evolve into anger. While I see a lot of activism, you see all these different groups out, the 501, the 50151 out there, everybody's out there. But that's not the majority. While I see a lot of activism and determination from many, unfortunately, I am watching anger fork into what? Acceptance, resignation, and acquiescence. We must move more from the latter to the former. That is the job that most of us with platforms in the progressive independent media space are duty bound to change. It is my job and others in this space not just to inform accurately as we break down what often the mainstream media leaves uncovered for various reasons, but also the ones who inspire and motivate those who are currently accepting, resigning, and acquiescing to the abhorrent health and financial policies the administration is trying to effectuate. You know, the Democratic Party collected $2 billion. Over $2 billion for the last election. The Republican only 1.5. The Democrats had much better policies with a $500 million advantage over Republicans. And we fought to an almost tie with the Republicans having the slight lead in each branch of the government. Crazy. And the reason why is Democrats failed. They relegated all that money that you guys gave, a ton of money, billions, to consultants making $10,000 a shot, $15,000 a shot. You know where that money didn't go? To the people closest to you, to the independent medias, to the activist groups that are knocking on doors and getting people to come out. Most of those people were working for free. While consultants who would not know a working class person, a poor person, if they saw them on the street, wouldn't know them. But yet, that's what we work with. So when I say it's on you, it's on you. Supporting these platforms, it's on you. Supporting the distribution of real information, it's on you. If you leave it for CBS, ABC, Fox News, MSNBC, and all these others, they're funded by corporations and commercials. We are funded by you. The ones that are getting the information out, who else would you trust? Anyway, I said I was going to be leaving, and I think I better leave right now. I want to thank you for the many of you that are on here, many of you that are chatting. Please keep it up. If you're new here, just go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you just happen to pass on to us. But let's get busy. We have a lot to talk about. I'm about to go write the blog, or I'm finishing the blog for the video I did on my earlier show with David Fromm, and how the tariffs and all of that are really screwing the small businesses and more. We'll talk. But thank you so kindly for your ears. You guys have a wonderful rest of your morning. My show starts at 3 p.m. this afternoon, Politics Done Right. Please check it out. And we do it on air on KPFT 90.1 FM in Houston. And we simulcast on Substack all our programs as well. So check us out. We will be back at 3 p.m. Central right here on this channel. Thank you for listening. See you at 3. Those of you who come back, appreciate you.
spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead, number one, subscribe to our channel, and number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.